There's a lot of young, exciting players on defense. And actually, we have one of them joining us, Joe. It's Josh Martin, who had a phenomenal preseason, phenomenal training camp. He's kind of give us a couple minutes. Josh, this is Joe and Tyson. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
Oh, dude, we're doing great, man. First of all, thank you for joining us. I know you're getting ready for Buffalo Bills, so we definitely appreciate your time, man.
Hey, it's not a problem at all. I'm glad to be here.
So I guess our first question for you is, man, we covered your training camp all year, all this season, and Todd Bowles and your staff is fiery this year, man. So what is it like playing for Coach Bowles in this camp, man? It seems like it's a whole new energy there.
Yeah, absolutely. They brought in some great defensive coaches. Obviously my position coach, Kevin Green, his name, Kevin Green is the man, right? He's that dude, and his stats and everything that he's been able to accomplish. He brings a lot to the table, so it's hard not to, bust your butt and get after it for him especially.
And Josh, my name is Joe, and I want to welcome you to the show, man. Where do you feel like you fit the best in Casey Rogers' defense?
Well, you know what? I'm an outside linebacker by trade. That's what I've been since I've been in the NFL, going to my 5th year now. Obviously, I was undrafted as a defensive end out of Columbia University to the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's what they put me at outside linebacker, and I think that's where my skill set matches up best.
Yeah, and Josh, the one thing is, you've been so impressive, man. Like, you just stuck out everywhere in practice and preseason, just with your tenacity and just how physically you play. What was it like being a young player, just trying to make it to the NFL roster and just getting your way to now where you're a starter?
Well, I'll tell you what, my journey was a little different than most. Obviously I came undrafted, so by the numbers, I shouldn't be talking to you right now. And it's one of those things where you just come in and people don't expect much of you, and that just adds a little fuel to the fire in terms of proving them wrong and proving yourself right, and really just getting after it. Obviously there's a physical aspect, but I'd have to say most of it is mental and just getting yourself in the right state of mind to, attack what's in front of you.
Yeah, I admire your determination, man. Like I said, you've been grinding through it, and you just started sticking out. Like last year, now you see this year you're just coming on. And what has it been like playing in New York, man? Coming to the New York market with the crazy Jets fans and all the expectations. What is it like playing here?
It's awesome. I went to school in Manhattan, so I'm familiar with the area. I got a lot of buddies out here, and I love New York as a market. I love criticism. I love the critical fans. To me, that just shows that you guys care, and actually, I really appreciate that.
And Josh, you talked about coming in undrafted and really having to fight for your position, and you're a guy that really made your bones on special teams. How hard was it trying to learn the special teams, plays and sequences, also trying to learn that base defense so you can stick out on there as well?
Well, for me, undrafted, I wasn't going to play on defense. I was realistic about that. I came in behind Tom Holly and Justin Houston. So I wasn't, I wasn't worried about playing defense. I was worried about making my impact on special teams. It's one of those things where you just have to have an understanding of where you fit in on the team and, exploit that, for the better. If that answers your question, I'm not sure if I did.
You absolutely did, Josh. What was one of the hardest things that you had to learn about special teams when you first kind of got with the squad and got out there?
Well, special teams is, I think it's football at its purest sense, right? You have to tackle, you have to block, and that's all that football is at its core. And once you realize that, and realize that majority of special teams is all about effort and what you're going to do to sacrifice for your team without getting much credit. So the sooner you buy in, it's all about buying in on special teams. And, once you're able to do that, you make the sacrifices, you learn the techniques, and you're good to go.
Speaking of learning your techniques, you spoke a little bit earlier about working with Kevin Green, the new outside linebackers coach. What is it like learning from him? What is it like having him as a coach just on the sidelines in your ear 24 hours a day?
I mean, the energy that he brings to the table and his style of play. I thought I was a physical player before I met KG, and he completely. It was just a reawakening for me of sorts. He talked about my physical play, and that's all KG. That's what he brought to the table. His style of play and his energy. I think you see that throughout the outside linebacker room as a whole.
Yeah, man, and he fires you guys up, and it's so cool to watch you guys. When you guys make a play in practice like that, he's running over there, his veins are popping out, he's going nuts. You guys got to feel
No,
that
absolutely,
energy, right?
Absolutely. He's very, he's accomplished a lot in his career, so he has that respect. But really, what he really brings to the table, he cares, and he shows that he cares. He's critical when he needs to be critical, but he loves you when he needs to love you, and he does a great job at balancing the two.
Once again, we're talking to Josh Martin, who's given us a few minutes. We definitely appreciate it. Make sure you follow him on Twitter, people. Josh Martin 95. This is our starting linebacker, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching you play. Josh, I guess the question for you is, what are some of the things you worked on this offseason to help improve your game, whether it was like being more physical or faster, things like that?
Yeah, so this is my fifth offseason, right? So I've kind of just been slowly fine-tuning my process year over year. And really, this year was no different. I try to get all my heavy lifting in earlier in the year. And then later in the year, I work on my conditioning, my mobility. I'd love to get out to California to train jiu-jitsu with the Gracies out in Torrance. I was actually introduced to that by Tom Bahali. That's a great exercise for me, just to stay loose, get my conditioning in, and also get some good strength training in.
Yeah, man, you can't go wrong with jiu-jitsu. We talked to a lot of players that all say the same thing. They were doing either some kind of like kickboxing or boxing or MMA, just a different type of training to improve like stamina and flexibility and all kinds of stuff. Are there players that you like to study to like learn their techniques or maybe pass rushing moves?
I mean, you just pull any film of any premier pass rusher in the NFL right now. You have Von Miller, Khalil Mack, Justin Houston, Tamba, guys that, do it the right way and they've had success. And you try to see what they do and tailor that to your game. And I think that's something that goes a long way.
Yeah, that's exact learning from other players and seeing what they move. And like you said, taking some of their moves and adapting it to your game as well and just becoming a better player. What are some of the things that you've learned from veteran teammates that help shape your game as well?
Oh, well, I made a big effort to figure out what some of the older players have done to stay healthy, recovery-wise. What can I do to be in your shoes 5-10 years from now? And, it's really about investing in your body in terms of football, right? You have to invest in your body because your body is, how you make a living, and it's important to give back for what you take out, right? So the massages, the acupuncture, the stretching, the trigger point therapy, there's really nothing that I won't try, obviously as long as it's legal, to try to, gain an advantage.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a big point that a lot of fans also don't understand is how NFL players, take care of their bodies throughout the entire football season. You spoke about acupuncture and that cold tub is very important as well after the game. Get yourself, back prepared for the next game, and dieting too. A lot of people just think, hey, some NFL players just eat whatever they want to eat. That is not factual. You have to. That
is not true. I can confirm that. It's like if I were to eat whatever I wanted to eat, I would not be where I am today.
Exactly. A lot of players, you got a diet you got to go by, because if you don't, things can go haywire when you're trying to run guys down out there in that football
field.
It'll
catch up to you for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Put the McDonald's away. Do you have any goals set for the 2017 season?
I set some pretty lofty goals for myself. I'm obviously special teams wise. I consider myself one of the better special teams players in the league for sure, and I think it'll be a great accomplishment to make a Pro Bowl for special teams. And then, obviously, as a linebacker, I should get an opportunity to start this year. And one of my goals in regards to that is just to solidify myself as a legitimate NFL starter. Get some sacks, make some plays. You don't want to be in a situation where you get an opportunity and then you lose that opportunity because you didn't perform the way you were supposed to perform or the way you know that you could have performed. And so it's just a matter of taking advantage of this opportunity to be able to play on defense and to make the most of it, make some noise.
Yeah, man, I can tell you this. We're definitely excited to see you do that. And, every Jet fan that walks around we talk to, they're all excited about the Jets' defense, man. The speed, you guys are tenacious. You're getting after on every play. What do you think we should expect from your defense this year in 2017?
I mean, you talk about tenacity, you talk about the speed, the flying around to the ball, the physicality. Those are all things that I believe you can expect from the defense. A lot of people are counting us out, but we're not counting ourselves out, right? And I think it's important that, you know, you just understand what you bring to the table and show the world.
Now, is that something, I mean, the media in this area, as you know, I'm sure you know, is they're rough right now. Does that fuel you guys? I mean, we saw, like, all, like, the motivational things, like, on all the walls in the facility, things like that. Are you guys just, like, kind of, like, motivated by all this negativity surrounding on the outside?
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, you really have two options. You either block out the noise or you let it fuel you. And those are really the only two options in order to be successful. And, you know, it's just obviously you can't not hear it, right? You turn on the TV, you turn on the radio, everyone's talking about it. It's playing on the TV at lunch. And it's one of those things where you just remind yourself, you know, I can only speak for myself, but I know that every year since I've been in the NFL, every team that I've made, people have always asked, you know, how'd that guy make a team? Who is that guy? You know, I've never heard of him before, but I'm still here, right? And I've had plenty of people count me out, and I know that I've always proved them wrong, and so I'm excited to get an opportunity to do that again.
No, we're excited too, man. Like I said, you stuck out the entire training camp, preseason. We're just like every week, everybody's calling in, talking about you. But here's the most important question, man. Do you have a sack dance ready? Because the NFL allows celebrations. Do you have a little sack?
You know, I think you guys will be surprised. I've been practicing a little bit in the mirror at home, and I'm cooking up some good stuff. So I'm looking forward to showing those off.
Hey, if you want to start this Sunday, man, we're not opposed. You can start the sack dance this Sunday.
All right, I'll cook something up good for you guys.
Well, Josh, first of all, we want to thank you for joining us. And there's rumor has you have a podcast coming out, man. Do you want to share some insight on that?
Yeah, man, I have a podcast coming out. It's called Last Whistle. It's really a kind of an experiment for myself, just to create something off the field to sort of increase my brand awareness by, you know, showing what players are doing off the field, you know, beyond football. What are their interests, you know, whether it be in music or arts or business. What players are up to off the field when they leave the facility. And I'm excited to talk to some of my teammates and see what they have to share with you guys. And that should be out in the next few weeks. And I'm just, you know, going to have some fun with it. I think it'll be great for the fans.
Now, what would be the best way for fans to follow you so once you launch all this, they can keep track of it?
Yeah, so my website, the landing page at least, is going live tomorrow, joshmartin95.com. And you can also reach me on Instagram and Twitter at joshmartin95.
Awesome. And before we let you go, man, you have a message for all the Jet fans out there. The season opener is Sunday, and you know these fans are ready, man. So do you have a message for everybody out there?
You know what? Jet up, Jets Nation. Let's get this season going.
Josh, once again, man, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on an excellent preseason, man. We are excited to see you in action, and good luck this year, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Catch up with you guys later.
Nope, thank you. Absolutely. Have a good night. All right, Joe, that was Josh Martin, and I'm not going to lie to you, dude. I was excited to talk to him tonight, man, because, like you said, he's a hell of a player, tenacious, physical, and if you watch him in practice or preseason, man, he was getting pressure every week, continuously improving. I'm curious to see what he brings to the table, man. He's a hell of a player.